We've been fortunate to get some pretty good rains in the last couple weeks. So we've been pretty well delayed on getting our third cutting hay done. And our, first cutting on the new seeding stuff. So we got the oats cut off, but this is our first good cutting of the, the growth afterwards. And if we hadn't had all that rain, we wouldn't even really have a first cutting on this stuff. So we're pretty fortunate to have the rain that we've had, both for the corn and for the hay. Look at this shit. I've got pretty good growth. I'll flip the camera out here and you can have a look at it. So we're pretty happy. The amount of rain that we've had, I mean, it's kind of been a pain. We haven't had, flood type rains, but it seems like, every couple of days we got a little bit here and a little bit there. So it just makes it awful hard to get anything done hay-wise. So we're pretty fortunate to have what we had. Now there's a lot of weeds coming through in this here. I can see quite a bit of cockleburs down there. A lot of foxtail is still here. But there's going to be some good alfalfa in there. As you can see, the clover's blooming. So we got some pretty good volume anyway for the first cutting. I'm pretty pleased with it. Ought to make for some pretty darn good cow hay. Now we've got pockets in here, like this pocket down here on this north end. It's got an awful lot of weeds in it. You can see the bigger leaf stuff in here. That's primarily cockleburs. So I'm glad we can get in there and get them cut anyway and get some use out of it. Otherwise it'd just be like last year. We had some new seeding and we just went in with the big back wing and we just clipped it off because there wasn't, it wasn't good volume there to try and bale it. But there was certainly a lot of crap there and we just back winged that stuff off. On to the bottom field. Trying to get right close to the corn. If you can see that or not, my windows are awful dirty today. Yeah, I can't really see it. Anyway, I'm trying to get just as close to that corn as I can without wiping out the corn, making it look nice. Well, this is one of the fields that was raked when we had the oats. And it started raining. And they got rained on in the windrow. So that dramatically affected the stand. There's still good alfalfa down there, but where all those windrows were that got rained on, there's an awful lot of weeds right where that windrow was. So like we got right here and right here, this swath would be raked up right here where that front tire is basically. And man, there is a boatload of weeds typically right where that windrow was raked up and laid there and got rained on. There you can see some of it right there. See, there's just a lot more weeds right there where the windrow was. I mean, god dang it. Well, whatever. That's what happens when your hay gets rained on. It just creates a nasty spot for weeds to come up because the hay gets put back a little bit. Decent stand down here in the bottom otherwise. Decent stand. It's kind of thin over there on that gray knob where I started the recording. It's, I don't know if there's more sand there or what, but it's quite a bit thinner there. Okay, there's more of those weeds. Bottoms are really hard to do hay on also, just because they're low-lying areas and they typically are wetter than, like the hillsides. Hillsides are better for hay stands or hay crop because they can drain away. The bottoms don't drain away quite as quick. One, because they're flatter, and two, because they got everything up above draining down onto them. So it's harder to have a good hay crop in the river bottoms. But whatever. Part of our rotation. We can use the hay. There's some more of that road spot where the weeds are. We can use the hay. The hay doesn't typically return as much revenue as as a cornfield would or a bean field would, but you know, what the hell, within the next 2 or 3 years, depending on how long you run the hay, we won't have the input costs on the hay, so that kind of offsets it quite a bit. If you can run it 3 or 4 or 5 years, then you really get quite a bit more return out of it, because you don't have those inputs every spring like you do on, you know, on a cornfield. Plus, we're putting down a heck of a good amount of nutrients when we plow this stuff under, so the corn will be a heck of a lot better the next go around, as you can see. Man, that's good corn. Holy smokes. Well, I think we'll call it a day on mowing hay. Holy shit, guys, this corn is clear up taller than the cab of the tractor. You know, I'll show you guys something else. Last year we had non-organic corn. Me and my oldest took a picture of it. Standing beside it was right over here. Whoop, let me make sure I don't hit the... There we go. Now you probably can't see it through the dirty window. Anyway, we took a picture standing in front of the corn, standing right here in 2000, I think it was 14. We had last year we had conventional corn, and we did a current picture here just a week or so ago. I'm gonna post that picture right up here. Now look at the difference, 2014 versus, yeah, organic corn is taller. Well, hey, that's pretty cool. I don't know if that really means anything, but pretty cool anyway. All right, now I'm just gonna head this back to the shed, call it a night. We've got several days of good dry weather, at least supposed to have dry weather. So I'm gonna take this, put it back in the shed, and we'll start back in on mowing again tomorrow. Back at it today. We've got a little bit more wind, guys. I brought the drone, but I don't think I'm probably gonna run the drone much. You can see the grass waving there. She's just a little windy. Anyhow, this here field was not raked up when it got rained on with those oats, so you can see we've got a lot better weed suppression. We didn't have that dead spot from the windrow laying there that allowed the weeds to jump back up right away. Pretty decent stand. Got a lot more clover showing up on this hillside than the previous hillsides or hills or whatever, which is fine. Clover's still good feed. Clover puts in good nitrogen back in the soil as well, so that's okay. And that's kind of why we run the alfalfa clover mix. We don't put in near as much alfalfa, excuse me, as clover as we do alfalfa, but you get some spots in the fields where the alfalfa just doesn't take as well as clover does, and that's why we do that. We've got a different species in there that'll do better in different soil types. Still definitely have some cockleburs over here, but not like a solid row like that previous field. Well, there's another one done. Nice little 35-acre piece. Cow feed. Alright, now I'm going to take this guy home. We're about out of fuel. Well, not about. I guess it's just under a quarter. So anyway, I've got to go look at a tractor. I hope the guy's around. The one that we put a TA in a year ago for a guy. He says it's acting up. It's not working on the low side. Wow. Okay. So I gotta go check that out. I don't know what the heck, but maybe the cable's not working right, and it's only going down to halfway instead of, you know, all the way. Whatever. So we'll get that checked out, and we'll come back and start mowing again tomorrow. And oh, I forgot. I gotta go get gotta go take my sows for a ride in the trailer. Get them to come into heat. Stressing them like that, I guess, makes them come in heat. Anyway, I'm gonna haul him down to my neighbor's house. He's got a mower. I'll pick his mower up and bring him back to my house. Then I'll separate them again. And it's supposed to be like within 10 days or so, or a week, whatever, all that stress will cause them to come into heat. So, all right, well, stay tuned. I'll be back out of here in a little bit. Time to go bale. Got about 25 acres, not quite, maybe 20 acres ready to go. Raked up. Started raking this morning. Checked it about noon. Yep. Be in the tractor the rest of the day. Started raking this morning, 10 or 11, maybe 10:30. And came back, checked it at 1, and it was just a little tough on the bottom yet, so went ahead and waited. She's ready to go now, though. What do you think, guys? I kind of think that drone footage is pretty darn cool. Hey, Nat. You gonna wave? Yeah. I guess tonnage-wise, it's yielding pretty good. We already got 12 bales, and we've only made 3 trips around and 3 passes back and forth so far, so gotta make silly faces. Anyway. Well, it's yielding good, it's just, it's not the best, you know, all those weeds that are in there. Oh well, I'll take it. Well, there's one rolling net wrap gone. Shouldn't say that, it wasn't a whole net. I thought it had maybe 15 to 20 bales left on it, and we did 28, so I was pretty close. Alright, so I don't think I've ever shown you guys how to change the net wrap roll before, so I thought we might let her hold the camera, and you guys can watch how easy it is to change the net wrap.
At 8. rolling.
Okay, now, I don't know how some of you guys, or what you guys do with your plastic entrails when you're done putting the net on. A lot of times what I do, I put it right in this tube. I'll just take and wad it up like that and stuff it all down in my tube. There you go. If you got someone that can come pick it up and you don't have to worry about it, that's great. But if you don't have someone that can grab it and go, here's what I like to do. I just take it, hang it right back up here, hang it right back up in the baler. Just like that. Pretty simple. Now we still got to feed the net wrap into the baler, and usually I just take and put a little pony knot in the end of it. That way it's kind of all stuck together. Pull it back away from me. Stick it down underneath this roller, over top of that one. So it's like that, okay? And then I put it over top of that big plate. Come on up in the top here and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so there's our pan, or trough, or whatever the heck it's called. And we'll just take and stuff that right down inside the belts right there. This bar right here is the knife. So you got to make sure you don't get your finger trapped in there, or maybe could get hurt. But when you press the load button on the baler, it pretty well opens everything up. Give myself a little bit more slack. Spin me back a little bit. There we go. Now I'll just stuff as much in there as I can. And I always try to fan it out just a little bit. Just kind of spread it out. And it would pretty well suck it in there with that pony knot. Oh. With that ponytail down in there, it would pretty well suck it in without being a problem. But this helps get the bale covered quicker because you've already got it spread out better. Okay, that's pretty well done. Now I just got to center it on these little marks. But the other side, see, that one's just about to the third one, and this one's just past the third one. So I'm going to bump it over to the left just a little bit. Loosen that back up. Bump it over. There we go. Tighten our brake. Actually, it's not the brake. That's the part inside here that expands that rubber inside of the tube so that it can't spin free. There we go. Now we're ready to go again. Sun's starting to get low, guys. Well, I think we'll call that a wrap on this video. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed watching. I'm trying to put up some decent hay anyway. Fortunate enough to have the weather. Fortunate enough to have the rain come through and kind of wet our whistles. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, we're just trying to finish up baling. We've still got, well, I've got, I don't know, 6 or 7 rows left here on this farm. This is the new farm to me. And I got 30 acres over there on that other farm. So anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one, catch you later.